What is up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today I'm going to be doing a Patreon request for Trista Ray. This is Final Fantasy XIV Blood on the Wind, aka Bozja battle theme from Shadowbringers. Well, 14 is popular on my channel, probably for good reason. The songs are really great. It's been a while since I've done one, and let's just get right into it. I don't know how to say Bozja, but we'll see. This video is provided by Hungry Chad, the ultimate Chad. Let's go. Blood on the Wind. Cool title, by the way. I want to see if I can put an image to those words. Okay, let's go. Don't you love songs that start off right off the bat? Is that a Victor bell? Oh. Hello, guitar. Two guitars already, but one is much louder. It's really cool that there's two guitars doing different things. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. It almost sounds sloppy, since you're playing two different things. I think I hear three guitars now. There is three guitars right now. Left, right, and center. I really love the drums in 14. They're all so lively. They got a big jam feel. Almost sounds improvised. Look at those swords. The snare sounds immaculate. Oh, I just noticed something. I'll explain later. This is playing the octave chords of this. We're coming back now? Love the groove. Just constant, like, slow head movement. Yeah, that's when the third guitar comes in the middle. It's hard to hear the bass, but I hear it too, and it's doing some cool stuff. It's kind of following the drum pattern. Oh. I don't know if this is different or if I heard it already. And it's over. Okay. Well. You know, you'd think that things wouldn't be different after so many of these that I've done. I don't know how many 14 videos I've done. I probably have done around like 30 or so by now. But, of course, some stuff sticks out here. Obviously, the use of the guitars was very prominent in this one. It like overshadowed the drums, the bass that I barely even heard. We'll talk about the guitars in a second. I'm actually going to talk about the vocals, because there were vocals in here. I don't know what they were saying or what language it was in. But what I like about Soken in particular is that the vocals in the 14 songs could either be, you know, up front and center as like a vocal track with melodies, or just very much like, who cares, put him in the background and it'll just add to the flavor of the song. And I feel, I'm not sure which is more. I think I've heard a mix of both, but I feel maybe it's like 70-30 in the favor of more ambient vocals that are just kind of like back there, and then the music is up front. But I could be wrong about that. But I feel like the way he uses vocals as like an instrument is pretty cool, and that happened here as well, because it only showed up like in maybe a couple bars and then just went away. I noticed also that this is like a very dark area. Like there's like no light here. It seems like kind of forestation, maybe swamp-like, maybe underground type of thing, based on the visuals. But it also fit the music pretty well, because the music felt kind of like under something. I can't really explain it besides that. I felt like it was underground. There was no light touching it. I don't know how else to explain it. There wasn't a lot of brightness to the song. It was very kind of flat. Not in a bad way, I'm saying musically. It was just kind of not flat in tone, obviously, for the music nerds. Just flat as far as like feeling. It just kind of felt like it was rotating and kind of not doing much. But then I thought to myself, that probably goes hand in hand with what I noticed, in that this is not a boss. I didn't even notice that. I'm so used to doing boss battles. I don't even know how many I have left. I feel like I've done them all. But I noticed that this is a, well, I could be wrong, but it seems like it's a world type setting. I was confused because it said battle theme, but maybe that's just maybe there's fights in, you know, in where you're at. That's not the boss. I never even thought about that, but I guess that makes sense. So yeah, no, it definitely was like, oh, seems a little more casual, I guess. Not bad, just casual. It feels like the boss, it seems like all the music in this game is leading you up to the boss battle, where then it just releases all of its, you know, endorphins and just kind of goes nuts. So I did feel that. I noticed it late. I'm like, oh wait, where's the rest of the squad? Where's all these things being wiped and all that stuff? So I didn't notice that. But I did notice that there was no boss here, and I could be wrong about that, but let me know. Now, as far as the guitars, I may know a little about those. This was interesting because it was kind of sloppy, and again, not a bad thing, just kind of more of a technique, where usually, you know, if you have guitars in a track, it's usually going to be more than one. Two, mostly, maybe three. But they're all going to be in line with each other. There's going to be a rhythm doing a rhythmic thing, or chords, or whatever it is. And then we have like a lead doing like single notes, you know, lead. It's pretty simple to understand those two. This one felt like it just kind of had like three leads, and then some rhythm here and there, but also it was all split apart. So we had a left channel with the more rhythmic thing. Heavy was the one that was more prominent. The right side was kind of just more ambience and kind of weird sounding. And then in the middle we had where it was kind of the main lead, I guess, where it was like octave chords, and then they just kind of filled up the whole sound eventually. But what I'm saying though is that they all sounded like individual. So if you removed two at a time and just heard one, that would sound like its own cool song. Like if the drums didn't change and you just removed two of them, and then remove that one, then you hear the other two, or you hear, you know what I'm saying? Like you can mix and match, and I feel like it would sound like almost three different songs based on how different those riffs were. So that was interesting. And the only time that like I've experienced anything like that is Black Sabbath Tony Iommi is one of my one of my first influences on the guitar when I was a kid. Still a legend, by the way. He used to do that a lot, and this is back in the 70s. He used to layer, you know, every recording artist layers their instrument, right? You play it once and then you play it again twice and it sounds bigger, or you might harmonize with it or something like that. What he did, for example, in the song War Pigs, which I'm sure you've heard, in the ending solo, which is an amazing solo, by the way, in the ending solo, for like a good 5 seconds, if you just pay attention for just a little bit, you'll notice there's a part where the song just kind of gets chaotic, and it sounds like he just messed up or something like that. And this is because he's playing a solo, which is a lead on its own, and then another solo like above that, but it's not the same one. So it's like all these cluster of notes for just a couple seconds, and then it goes back into just the solo one. It's so bizarre, but it works. I can't explain it other than that. Not a lot of people do it because it doesn't really work all that often. I guess if you want chaotic nonsense, it could work. But here it worked. They did it here. So they layered, and it didn't really make much sense as to why they layered it, but it still worked. So maybe that has to do with the whole aura of this place. It's very, I wouldn't say it's chaotic. It looks kind of bland here, but since this is maybe like, well, it is a battle apparently. You know, it has some tension and some things to bring to the table as far as negative notions. But I like that. That was cool. Don't know what the title refers to. Blood on the Wind seems a little, I don't know. 14. I'll be honest. There's some games where the titles. This is just a side rant, if you want to call it a rant. There's some games that they title their songs amazing, and you know they're pretty on point with subject matter, context, etc. A lot of times 14, I don't understand the song titles. They're so bizarre, and I don't know if that's a translation issue or they just have so many songs that they just gotta name them something. I'm not sure, but Blood on the Wind, no clue. Please let me know, and just let me know if I'm wrong. It's okay. I'm curious, but it seems like 14 definitely has this issue more than others for me. It's not even an issue, it's just a thing that comes to my mind. Anywho, thank you 14 fans for sticking with me. If you want to make a request just like Trista Ray did, you could do so on Patreon or PayPal. Either are totally fine, they're not necessary. They guarantee that I will check out your song eventually if you do not mind waiting. If you do not want to wait, there is the Platinum Trophy tier on Patreon, which expedites your request to the very top, and it is a limited position. Only 10 are available. A big thank you to Aiden, Justin, Kevin, Moon Knight, Rogue Mock, Solid Bullet, 066, Your Average Metalhead, Lord Daddy, Sekainua Ride, for being part of that. Thank you to everyone that you see over here as Patreon supporters. Thanks to you for watching. The Warriors of Light and Darkness, showing me this amazing OST from this game that exists. My name is Jesse. Stay tuned for more 14. There's still plenty to come. Until next time, dudes and dudettes, take it easy.